So what I'm going to cover today, my name's Simon Klein. You gave me a very nice introduction. How to become a successful trader with any size account. This is a very, very important question to ask yourselves, especially people starting out, and even people that have been trading for some time without any success. You need to know what account size maybe to start with when you're learning how to trade. Don't be like the person who came to me starting, and this is a very extreme example, with $1 million account, and came to me after a number of years and said, you know, my account's now at about $10,000. Can you help me make my money back? That's an extreme. So you really don't need a lot of money to be able to learn how to trade. You can actually learn to trade with a very small amount of money. It doesn't make sense to actually start with a larger amount of money when you don't know how to trade, because what would that mean unless you've proven yourself? That you will just lose more money in the learning process. So you want to make sure that during the learning process as a trader, you actually only going to lose a very small amount of money that's insignificant to you. And then once you've proven yourself, you can start upping the size. And we're going to go into that during this presentation here. So let's begin. And you can ask any questions towards the end. There'll be some time. So a quick disclaimer. This is for all you lawyers out there, just to bear in mind that all comments I make are for educational purposes only. And as you all know, there's a high degree of risk involved in all types of trading. It's very important that you focus now, turn off all distractions, focus on what I'm going to say to you. You may not have heard anything like this before. It's not a topic that's covered by many people out there. A lot of people are covering strategies, which is great, but you need to understand a framework in which you develop as a trader in order to be successful. Strategy is not good enough. You need much more than that. So this is what we're going to cover in this webinar. Renee already went through an introduction to about myself, but very briefly, I'm the CEO of TRADESMARTForex.com. I've actually been trading for over 12 years now professionally. And I started my professional life at Credit Suisse in both London and New York, and my trading life at Generic Trading of Philadelphia, and that was in 2005. This is what we're going to cover. We're going to cover goals, defining your edge, trading framework, the framework that you need to have in place in order to develop as a trader, the actual process you're going to go through once you've got that framework in place. Well, then we're going to talk all about account size, and then we'll open up to audience questions and answers. I like to start all my webinars this way. And I think a lot of people, if they look back at their beginnings as a trader, would wish they may have started in this way. So bear in mind that trading is a business. So you must treat it as a business. Hobbies cost money, businesses make money. That's the first thing everyone should know when they're starting out as a trader. Even people that have been trading for some time, it's very important to understand and to treat trading as a business. From the beginning, that means you set goals, that means you have a plan, that means you have structure. Most businesses, you need to have a goal. You need to know what the purpose and the goal of that business is. So the first question you need to ask yourself as a trader is, why do you want to trade? So let each one of you ask yourselves that question. Why do you want to trade? This will give you a big picture reason for what you're doing. Now, here's the question. Do you really know why you want to trade? If it's just to make money, well, there's many different things that you can do to make money, but why trading? What is it about trading that attracts you? To make money is not a good enough reason. As we said, you can make money in different ways, but why trading? So you need to set a big goal there. What is it? Do you want the freedom that trading can give you? Do you like it because it's solving a puzzle? Do you like not having a boss? Do you like to work whenever you want? I have people that I've trained that are working, say, 1 hour a day, and they're making enough money from that. And they work in the evening, they set their trades, and they go to bed at night, and the next morning they go and see what happened, or the next evening when they look at their trades again. You can trade like that. You don't even have to be watching the charts. You can analyze the charts at the end of the day, set your trades up the following day, follow your plan, and do that consistently day after day. That's an approach you can, so you don't even have to watch the market. Why are trading goals important? Because they give you focus and direction, like all goals. If you have a goal, then you can aim towards it, and you can assess whether you're achieving that or not. If you go off track, you can get yourself back on track. There's a big goal to become a successful trader. That's what most of you want to achieve, to become consistently profitable traders. Once you get there, then there's all other things that you can achieve, that you can do with that. But until you get there, it's too premature to ask those questions. So firstly, the first thing you need to do is to become a consistently profitable trader. You need to break that big goal of becoming a consistently profitable trader down into smaller goals, smaller milestones. And why is that important? Because as you're developing as a trader, you're most likely not going to be making money. So if you can keep that amount down, or your risk per trade, to a very minimum level, then you're not going to be, if you have a number of losing trades, say you're only risking $10 per trade, then that's fine. So if you have 5 losing trades in a row, so you're down $50. That's not so bad. Most people can stomach that. That's not bad during the learning process. So if your initial milestone would be to learn how to read the market, for example, then your focus is not on making money. Your focus is on learning how to read the market, identifying high probability trading opportunities. Once you get there, then you can start moving to the next stage, learning how to manage a position in the correct way, different forms of trade management, maybe adding to a position that's moving in direction, all sorts of more sophisticated trade management, which you can do, which is where many professional traders actually make most of their money, by managing the trade in a way that they increase their profits on the winning trades. So if you do that and you break your goals up and you have goals, they'll give you a sense of satisfaction when you achieve them. Even if you're not yet consistently profitable, even if you're not yet financially free, or have the freedom that you want that trading can give you, you know you're on the journey, and you're going through the journey step by step, and you'll feel a sense of satisfaction. You'll keep going. You'll keep going step by step, knowing that you're getting better and better every trading day or every trade. And there's a way and there's a methodology you can use to do that. And we're going to cover that later on in this webinar, in this presentation. If you do that, that gives you a positive trading experience. And if you're happy with what you're doing, you'll continue doing it. If you get frustrated with it and don't feel you're going anywhere, like most people when they start out trading, the actual percentage of profitable traders in the world is very low. Everyone knows that. You'll probably drop out and be another one of those, say 90% of people that don't make it. So it's very important that you have goals and you set goals and you know how to do that in the correct way, and that you achieve them, and you're able to keep tabs on how you're developing as a trader, that you're moving in the right direction. So ask yourself a question: what are your trading goals? For example, it could be to acquire expertise, as we said before, in reading the market. And it's very important that you should set challenging and feasible goals. And you should also set goals according to your level of trading mastery. So you shouldn't set a goal of making $10,000 a week, for example, when you don't know how to read the market yet, and you don't know how to read candlesticks, for example, or you don't know how to read, or you don't know how to manage risk. I've had many people come to me, traders come to me at the beginning, and they're taking lot sizes that are way too big for their account size, but they don't understand why. They just took, say, one. They didn't realize that one is, for example, one standard lot, and they have a $500 account, and you know, if you're trading, say, the euro dollar, $10 per pip. So if you have like a 50 pip risk, that's too much. That wipes your whole account out. So you have to understand these things. I know it's basic, but it's very important to understand. And you should also set goals that are realistic, because again, that gives you a sense of accomplishment and progress, which is what you need at the beginning. Even if you're after a number of years, sometimes it takes, it could take 3, 4, or 5 years to become a successful trader. But as long as you realize during that process, during that time, that it's a journey, and if you eliminate one mistake after the next, and if you get the seasoning that you need and the experience you need, you will get there in the end. And you have to work on yourself as well. So this is what's very, very important. Ask yourself a question. How committed are you? How committed are you to becoming a successful trader? Will you invest in an education and training? It's very hard to do it by yourself. There's many people out there that have done it before you. Learn from them. But at the end of the day, the way you trade has to be your own. You have to own it. You cannot trade someone else's system unless you make it your own first. So as I say to all my traders, and the way I train my traders is to give them a framework in which to read the market. And within that framework, they can develop themselves as traders. They can develop and find their own strategies that have an edge, that fit their personalities. So they're able to actually execute their trading plan in real time in the market consistently. As opposed to, I had a trader who came to me after sitting with a professional trader and being taught by him for 2 years, and sat with him every single day and traded with him. He understood what he was doing, but he couldn't do it himself. He couldn't get himself to trade in that style of trading. It didn't fit him, so he did not succeed. So he came to me, and I trained him in a more generic way. I gave him a framework to read the market. He developed his own trading strategy. I gave him a framework in which to operate as a trader that we talked about earlier, and we're going to go into more detail very soon. The framework that you need to have in place and the process you need to go through step by step. What do you do every day as a trader? Once he had all this in place, now he starts to be profitable and successful. He built his own trading plan with my help. He built his own trading strategy. He tested it from scratch and executed and proved that it works for him and has a positive expectancy. So the question is, will you work on yourself? How many of you out there have taken trades and the trade goes against you and you cut the trade out because you don't like seeing a negative P&L? And then the trade turns around just as you get out of the trade with a loss, and it goes straight to your target, and you're watching from the sidelines. Just type a 1 in the room if that's ever happened to you. I don't know where I can actually see. Can I see the answers anywhere? I see what people are typing. Just type in the room anyway. Has that ever happened to you? If it has, what are you doing about it? If you keep doing that consistently and then losing, you're not winning on the trades that you should do, and you're losing on the trades that you would have lost anyway, you're not achieving what you need to achieve as a trader. So will you learn from your mistakes and failures? And every single mistake and failure that you make is, once you fix it, you're one step closer to becoming a consistently profitable trader. I say to people, trading is one of those careers that you almost fail your way to success. You eliminate problem after problem, work on yourself. At the end of it, you become a better person. You may have thought that you had discipline beforehand. I was working with one of my traders, and I asked them, Do you have discipline? Sure, I'm disciplined. Okay, here's your trading plan. Go and trade it for a few days, and let's go and do a trade review afterwards, and let's see what happened. So we're going through the trades. The strategy says exactly what to do. So we take the first trade and we look at it. And we check it against the trading plan. So the trading plan says enter the trade here. What did you do? I entered somewhere else. I entered late. Are you following your plan? You said you were disciplined. Okay, let's look at the next trade. You entered here. What strategy was that in your trading plan? Let's look at the trading plan. I don't know. Can't find anything. Where does it say that you should do that you should enter when, well, there? Don't know. It just looked like it was going to work. That's not a reason. That's not in your trading plan. So first things first, you need to have a trading plan. So again, will you work on your mistakes and failures? Will you do whatever it takes? So here's the first thing you need to do as a trader. You need to define your edge. You have to have an edge in the market. What is an edge? Type in the room if you know what an edge is. What is an edge? You need to have one to become a successful trader, but you need to know what it is. Yeah, that's correct. I can actually see some. Okay, well done. Let me see if I can pop this out. Yeah, that's it. That's great. So an edge basically is an advantage that you have over others. That's what an edge is. Let me just pop this out. Oh, now I can actually see people typing. Great, excellent. The next question you need to ask yourself is, what exactly is a technical edge in the market? If you have a technical edge in the market, what does that mean? You have an advantage over someone else because you know how to read the market better. You know that this scenario in the market, the majority of the time, or even it could be 50% of the time, but you will make 2 times more on a winning trade than you'll lose on a losing trade. That's a technical edge. So you have to recognize when the odds in the market are in your favor. If you can recognize when the odds in the market are in your favor, that when the market shows this scenario and you take the trade and you know in that scenario 80% of the time it's going to get to the target, that's an edge. Doesn't mean it's going to work all the time. It means, and it can even work the minority of the time, but if the reward to risk will put you profitable. For example, if it only works 40% of the time, if you make 6 times on a winning trade than you lose on a losing trade, you will be positive. You will make money. You'll have a positive expectancy. A very important question to ask yourself when you're trading is, if you're taking a trade, especially if you're logging your trades, which you should do, and you go over your trades, which is something else that you should do, go and have a look at those losing trades of yours and ask yourself, who is on the other side of your trade? If I bought and it went against me, what did I do wrong? Who was on the other side? Was it a professional trader or was it a novice trader? I always ask myself these questions when I'm considering getting into a trade beforehand. If I buy here, who's going to be selling to me? Are they a professional or novice trader? Are they making any mistakes that professional or novice traders make? For example, like, are they buying after a move up in price to a supply zone, to a resistance area in the market where you know there's more willing sellers than buyers? Are they selling in an uptrend as the market moves down into a demand area? What mistake are they making? Or what mistake are you making? Do you know what your edge is? This is a very important question. Ask yourself this. If you cannot clearly explain your edge, you don't have one. Can you clearly explain exactly what you're doing in the market every single day? Or are you just taking random stabs at the market? I had someone that I'm actually coaching at the moment. And I'm looking through their trading record, and it's kind of random. I don't know exactly what's going on there. So after a few coaching sessions, this person's consistently losing but doesn't really know why. After a few coaching sessions and putting structure in place, we had a session yesterday and we went through their trading, and she was actually amazed. She's gone a complete turnaround from consistent loser to a profitable trader, whose average winning trade now is around 4 times the average losing trade, and they're getting it right 50% of the time. Beforehand, she didn't even know this. She was getting it right 60% of the time, but her average losing trade was way more than her average winning trade, even though she was right more often than not. So can you clearly explain what your edge is? And here's a very important point. If you don't have an edge, do not trade, because the odds are against you and you won't make money. It's very unlikely that you're going to make money consistently. You may get lucky. There's many people who have beginner's luck as traders. And again, that might not be the best way to go at the beginning. Sometimes it's better to actually lose at the beginning, because then you start to really knuckle down and get into why it's not working for you. And then you start learning and growing from it, as opposed to feeling that you're the greatest trader in the world and then blowing your account out the next week without understanding quite why. So here's another important thing to ask yourselves. Have you proven your edge? You've got an edge. You think, for example, your edge is buying uptrends. So first of all, you have to understand what an uptrend is and how to identify it. When does it begin? When does it end? Once you've proven that, then where am I going to buy? How am I going to manage my risk? Where's my entry? Where do I put my stop? Where's my target? I've got an edge. I want to buy in uptrends. I'm a trend trader. But have you proven it? Does your edge have a positive expectancy? Have you taken at least 20 to 100 trades and proven over time, the more trades, the better, that you make money over time consistently? So you have to prove your edge. You have to know what it is and how to define it. You have to write a strategy based on it, and we'll go into that very shortly. And then you have to execute it and prove that it works for you. And this is the next question. Can you successfully trade your edge? You may have a positive expectancy edge, but when it comes to the real live market and real trading, when you have to put real money on the line, you can't do it. The trade comes into your radar. Everything's lined up exactly what you should do. You're meant to hit that button and get in once you position size, and you get in, you know exactly where you enter and stop, and you freeze. You don't do anything. The trade works and you're not in it. Why didn't you take the trade? What's going on there? Can you do it? Another example, you're in the trade now, and there's a target, and your trading plan says hold it to the target, don't do anything. The market starts swinging up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're on the buy side, and you get a bit nervous. As it pulls down and gets close to your stop, you're like, I don't think it's going to work. And let's save myself a few dollars or whatever and get out now. It's not going to work. And then you get out of the trade. And then it goes on and works. Can you stay in those trades? Can you do exactly what your trading plan tells you to do? Have you proven it? I always tell traders, if we've got a piece of paper and it's got one strategy on it, and you've proven that strategy, all you need to do is follow exactly the rules in that strategy, and it will make you money consistently over time. Why would you not just do that? That's a very important question to ask yourself. Tell me, just right in the room, type a 1 in the room if that's ever happened to you, and you can, this is resonating with you. You know what you need to do, but you can't get yourself to do it, and it's frustrating. And you look at the markets afterwards and you're like, what's going on here? Why can't I get myself to do what I should do? So now we're going to discuss, we're going to move, yeah, of course, Michael, yeah. So this is very, very important. And you see, these are the things that you need to do before you start thinking about making money. You will never make money consistently until you have all this in place. And here's the next thing. This is the framework, the trading framework that you need to have in place. And if you don't have this in place, put it in place immediately. Yes, Martin. So I know a lot of us started out exactly this way. For me, I made many mistakes in my early days as a trader. And some of them were fixed because they got so painful that I couldn't bring myself to do them anymore. And then something switched and I didn't do them anymore. Something switched inside of me. It got so painful to keep making the same mistakes that I couldn't do them anymore. I couldn't make them anymore. I just couldn't get myself to make those mistakes anymore. That's what happened to me quite a number of years ago. So this is a framework that you need to have in place. Any beginning trader or anyone that's trading for a while that doesn't have a framework, any business that doesn't have a framework, that doesn't have a business plan, you don't have no way of knowing whether your business is successful or not. If you don't have goals, you've got no idea if you're heading in the right direction. And if you keep doing the same thing that you've been doing, you'll keep getting the same results that you're getting and hoping that things are going to change, that the next trade is going to make you what you lost on the previous 6 months of trading. Well, that's not going to help you. And if you carry on like that, you'll just keep losing more and more, because if you look at your trading, you will notice that you don't have a positive expectancy. So it's just a matter of time until you blow your account out. So this is what you need to have. The first thing that you need to have, no matter what style of trading you have, no matter if you're trading options, futures, Forex, it doesn't matter. You need a trading plan. And in that trading plan, you need to have money management rules. How much of my money do I risk? Full stop. How much open risk can I have at, how many trades can I have open at each moment in time? What's my, how do I manage risk? How do I manage money and how do I manage risk? Two different things. You need to have trading strategies, or at least one. This is part of it. I'm just giving you a little glimpse into what goes into a trading plan. These are the things that you must have. You must have a trading strategy in that. You must have money management rules and risk management rules. And again, you could have risk management rules per strategy, but money management rules is overall. What do you do when you've lost a certain amount of money or made a certain amount of money in a week or a month? Do you take the next few days off? I do. If you have a big day, take the next day off. Reward yourself. Because how many times has it happened that you had a big winner? For those of you that have been trading for some time, you can relate to this. How many times have you had a big winner to almost immediately after, as the saying goes, give it back to the market? You didn't hold on to it. You got it and it slipped through your fingers. Just type in the room if that has ever happened to you and you relate to what I'm talking about here. So that's why you have to have certain rules that you stick to in a trading plan, like walk away. Walk away. Once you've, walk away from your screen. Close down your platform. And likewise, if you have a losing trade, a big losing trade that you didn't expect. This morning, oh dear. So the next thing that you need to have in this framework is a trading log. Trading log means you need to log every single trade you do. You need to know every single trade you do, why you did it, where you got in, how did you manage the trade, where did you get out, did you follow your plan, didn't you follow your plan? Until you log your trade, you've got no idea. And the log of your broker is not good enough. You need much more detail than the broker. The broker doesn't know what strategy you were trading. The broker doesn't know what management policy you were using on the trade. And here's a very, very important one. And I don't know any successful trader that doesn't have all these three things in place. A trading journal. That's different to a trading log. Just type a 1 in the room, or just tell me, do you have a trading journal? Type no if you don't. How many of you have a trading journal, or even know what goes in one? Just type into the room. Who of you has a trading journal and they know? Just type yes or no. If you do, type a yes. If you don't, just type no. Let's see how many people. So again, as a trader, this is one of the most important things you need to keep as a trader. I sometimes go back and look to what I wrote 10 years ago. When I had my aha moments, when things started to make sense to me, when things clicked. Because if I log what I'm thinking and feeling as I'm trading, when I'm entering the trade, and I make a mistake, I know I look at my trading log over here, and I get out of a trade too soon. And if I log in my journal why I'm taking every action I'm taking, I can get a handle on the why I'm doing that. And once I know the why, I can start fixing it. Maybe I'm afraid of losing money. Maybe, I'm afraid of success. There could be many things. Maybe, there's two things I always say to people that traders have to deal with. And as human beings, we find very difficult to deal with. The first thing is human beings, you tell me if I'm wrong, don't like to be wrong. We don't like being wrong. And as a trader, when you're wrong, you lose money. And who likes losing money? So there's two things that you need to deal with as a trader. You need to deal with being wrong. And the market has a great feedback mechanism. You take a trade, it didn't work, you're wrong, and you lose money. You have to deal with that as a trader. You need to have your psychology in place to be able to deal with that. So again, if you know you have a strategy in place that has a positive expectancy, then you know that you're going to have losing trades. And you know what percentage of your trades are going to be losers. So you'll be able to sit through those losing trades and it won't matter to you. But most of you probably don't have that in place. So when you have a losing trade, it's painful. It's not part of a winning system because you don't have a system. Or you might think you have a system, but you've got no idea how to repeat it. So as the market changes, you need to adjust. And if you have no system in place, no framework in place, you've got no idea how to deal with that. When the markets move from sideways choppy to trending markets, you need to know how to deal with that. And I teach my traders you can actually see that by looking at your trading log. You can see in your trading log sometimes, if you log in the right way, you can actually see market changes before they actually happen. Again, that's interesting. You're not looking at the market, you're looking at your trading results. And from that, you're getting a little glimmer, a heads up before things are actually unfolding in the market. You can actually do that if you log in the right way. So you have that framework in place. You have a trading plan, trading log, and trading journal. So you need to have routines in place now, which is the process. You need to prepare to trade before you start trading. You need to ask yourself two questions. Am I ready to trade? And is the market ready? Two things need to be ready before you trade. Ask yourself, am I ready? Or is the market ready? If they're both ready, then trade. If one of them isn't in place, do not trade. You need to have patience. Patience is waiting for the market to show you your edge once you know what you're looking for. It comes and finds you. I look at the market and I said, well, there's nothing to do. And then sometimes I look at the market and it jumps out at you. There's a trade. Well, we took a long in the dollar yen yesterday in the trading room. We took it. It just popped out from the screen and says, take me. I couldn't stand the thought of not taking that trade, so I took it. And other trades and other, when times I look at the market, there's nothing there. There's nothing to do. There's nothing jumping out at me saying, take me. So you need patience. You don't do anything until the market shows you your edge, because you know that if you trade your edge and your edge has a positive expectancy, you will make money over time. So you need discipline. You need discipline to follow your trading plan. Again, without a trading plan, you cannot be disciplined. Discipline is defined as the ability to follow a set of rules. If you do not have a set of rules, how can you be disciplined? And you need to make sure that your psychology and emotions are in place. Now, again, if you know that you are trading a system that has a positive expectancy that you've practiced doing and you have confidence in doing, then I believe that your psychology and emotions will be more intact, will be more in place. But if you don't know that, then your emotions are going to be all over the place. You're going to feel euphoric when you make money on a trade. You're going to think you know what you're doing. And when you lose money on a trade, you're going to feel down. That's how it was for me when I first started. You know, I felt great when I had winning trades and awful when I have losing trades. Now it doesn't make any difference to me if I have a winning trade or a losing trade. I feel the same. And that reminds me of my early days on the trading floor when I used to walk past some of there were two traders on the floor that were always within half an hour. I started trading equities at the beginning. Half an hour of the US Open, they were up like $2,000 to $5,000, sometimes $10,000. And I used to walk by afterwards and I used to see their P&Ls on their screens. And I used to look at them and they looked fine. I mean, you'd be fine making $2,000 to $5,000 in the first half an hour every day. But then I remember walking by and seeing sometimes they're down maybe $2,000 to $5,000. And I looked at them as well, and they looked exactly the same. It didn't make any difference to them whether they were up or down. You couldn't see it. You couldn't see any. They were just cool, calm, relaxed, focused, and doing their job. This is how you need to be as a trader. You don't want to come to trading every single day, and it's one of those euphoric roller coaster rides of emotion. And I don't know how many of you just type in the room if that's you, if that's how you trade. You need to change that. And once you have a process and once you have the structure in place and you know what you're doing, it all changes. And you need to have a way of measuring your progress to know if you're moving in the right direction. And if you're not moving in the right direction, you need to know what you need to do to get yourself moving in the right direction. That's where it helps sometimes to have a coach. You can spend years and years, like someone I'm coaching at the moment, and they keep going and they think they're going to improve. And all it takes sometimes was a little tweak in what they're doing or a little change or a little different way of looking at it, and everything changes, like just happened to this trader now. And their whole world's different now. So let me give you a trading process example here. Firstly, you have to prepare yourself to trade. This is a step-by-step process of what you can do every day. So if you want, write it down. Prepare yourself to trade. Analyze the markets you trade with a view to finding trading opportunities. Prepare yourself ahead of time. Wait for the market to show you your trading opportunity. That's in your trading plan. Now take the trade. You've seen the trade in your trading plan, take it. You've prepared for it. You know what you're doing. That's in your plan. You know you need to take the trade, take it. Now take a picture of the trade entry. Important, you need to know what the market looks like when you took the trade. It's very good, and there's many people out there that are training traders by showing you, buy down here and sell over here when you've actually seen it play out. Again, when you're making a decision as a trader, you don't see the trade played out afterwards. That's in the future. You can only take trades at the hard right edge of the chart where you don't know how it's going to play out. You don't know. So that's where you need to start to train yourself to recognize before it plays out. And this is the way to do it, by taking pictures. Now you need to write an entry in a trading journal. Why are you taking the trade? What you're thinking about it? How are you feeling in your emotions? Then manage your trade according to your trading plan. Take a picture when the trade's completed. Take a picture of what happened next. And now enter the trade in your trading log. Write an entry in your trading journal. This is the process you can go through day by day, trade by trade. And if you do that, and if you have your trading plan, if you have your trading journal and trading log, then you can start to really understand yourself as a trader and understand if you're moving in the right direction. So let's move on to the next very important topic, all about account size. How can I learn to trade with a small account? How much money, or can I learn to trade with a small account? Yes, you can. How much money do I need to begin? You don't need very much. You can start with as little as $1,000 if you want. Depends what instrument you're trading, but you should pick instruments. If you trade the E-minis, then each tick is $12.50. If you trade a micro lot of the euro dollar, each pip move is 10 cents. So, you can pick whatever risk level you want. People always ask about, what about trading in a demo account? To learn how to use a platform, yes. To learn how to trade, definitely not. Because you don't trade the same in a demo as you do in real, because there's no real money on the line. Unless you treat it as if there's real money on the line, then you can do it. But what you should do is trade with a very, very small account and a small risk per trade, so it's all real. And then when you prove yourself, start to size up. Focus on the process when you're trading and not money. Don't look at money. Focus on doing good trades. Focus on finding good trading opportunities that match your trading plan and taking them. If you do the right thing, you will make money. If you focus on the money, then you're focusing on the wrong thing. That's not your job. Your job is to be a good trader. The money will come if you're a good trader. So what size account do you need? Well, people get it wrong. People say, how much money do I need to trade? Well, look at your results first. See how many R's, that's a unit of risk you're making per month. So if you're risking $10 per trade, yeah, then your unit of risk is, your R value is $10. If you're risking 100, R is 100. Look how many R's you're making at the end of the month. Now, how much money do you want to make per month? That's what you need to have in your account. And let me give you an example. Most people have this backwards again. Once you can make money, you'll make money. Again, the only difference is getting used to trading bigger size. Getting comfortable. I would say to people, in order to make money, you have to learn how to lose money in the correct way. Every trader loses money. But if you lose it in the correct way, it makes all the difference. If you feel confident after a losing trade, that makes all the difference. If you don't take that losing trade into the next trade, for example, I lost $1,000 on a trade. That happened, say. So the next trade, you're risking $1,000 again, and you're looking to make $3,000. So when you're up $1,000, you think, I'm not a loser anymore on the day. I've made back what I lost on the previous trade. So you cut the trade and think, feel good. And then the trade goes on and you would have been up $2,000 at the end of the day. So you're focusing on the money now, not the process. You're taking the previous trade emotions into the next trade. You mustn't do that. So you need to know. So once you know how much money you need to make per month, now you know what account size you need. So let me give you an example. If you start with $1,000 and say you're risking 1% of your starting balance per trade, that's $10 per trade, and you can consistently make $100 per month, that's 10 times your risk. So now, for example, you want to make $1,000 a month. So what do you need to do? You need to have an R value of 100 now. You need to risk $100 per trade. That way you will make $1,000 a month, which is 10 times your R. So what account size you need if you're actually risking 1% of your account? Simple math. If R is 1% of your account, then your account size needs to be $10,000. Can you see how we've gone it the other way? Most people have it backwards. They start with 10,000 and say, how much money am I going to make? Prove you can make money first, and then once you know consistently what you make on a month-by-month basis, after you've done it for a while, now you know what account size you need in order to make. This is what you do. So today we've discussed how to define goals, how to uncover your edge. We've discussed the trading framework and the correct trading process. So what you can do is take it a step further and learn how to create your own trading strategy, not someone else's, your own. With this knowledge of knowing how to develop your own trading strategy from your own ideas on own edge, you'll be able to create, test, and deploy your own trading strategies. So you can join my How to Create Your Own Trading Strategy training session. And this is what you'll learn in it. You'll learn much more in depth than what we've covered now, how to set trading goals, tools of the trade, how to create a trading strategy from your edge. So if you have an edge, you want to know how to take that edge and develop that into a strategy and prove it works for you. This is what I do with all my traders. We take the edge and we fit it to their personality, and we work together to develop a trading strategy that fits them, and we prove it works in a simulated market and in a live market. And once they've, every single trader walks away with a proven strategy, proven trading plan. And this is what people are saying. Marcus Alfheim from Norway, Simon is probably one of the best coaches out there with a heartfelt passion for coaching and a real understanding of how the market works. He helps you view everything in a new way. The way he teaches is also really good, and he goes through it until you understand. I can honestly say that I've gotten more out of this training than I expected. Thanks a lot, Simon. And Joshua Isaac from South Africa. Learning to trade with Simon has been both a very professional and enjoyable experience. Simon has a unique combination of expertise in the trading field, along with the love of sharing knowledge and interacting with people. Simon doesn't only show you the ropes, he will design a method of trading that is tailored for you and will guide you and coach you well after you have learned to trade. What I thought would be somewhat a boring activity has now become an exciting endeavor, which will not only challenge you, but may very well transform you into a different person. And again, this is what you're going to get in this training session. Very important. You're going to get an hour and 45 minutes of training from me. It's an on-demand session with no limit to the number of views. You can watch it at your own pace. You can watch the session at any time of day or night. There's personalized support where you can email me follow-up questions after you've watched the session. And this is my offer to you, and it's available until tomorrow night, midnight. The regular price is $397. If anyone on this webinar can get it for over half off for $197. So go here to this link, and if you purchase it before the deadline of Thursday, May the 11th at midnight, you'll receive over a half off. So I can put the link into the room. So you can click on it and see. Let me just pop it in. Also, I'm going to post a link. You can actually you can go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to that as well. And I put out a video once a week where the dollar is going next, and you'll learn a bit of how I analyze the market, and you'll see how accurate that is. We look at the options and we look at the probabilities of where the market's likely to go, and you'll see the market plays out almost exactly, according to the options that we mentioned in that video every single week. So I put that out usually on Sunday, once a week. So what I would like to do now, so you've got the link if you need this. If you have any questions, feel free. You can actually write me an email. I can put that into the room as well. It's simon@tradesmartforex.com. You can also email me if you're interested in joining the training. I think it's some of the best training you'll get out there. There's not many people that are covering that. Most people will teach you a strategy, but will they teach you a framework to read the market and help you to develop your own strategies? My traders develop their own strategies. As markets change, they adjust themselves and develop new strategies that fit different market environments. So if you have any questions, feel free to type in the room. We have a few minutes for questions. Oh, you want to go back one screen? Sure. Let me go back. Okay, let me have a look at the questions here. You imply that your edge comes before you find a strategy, but how can you identify an edge without testing it on a strategy first? An edge is where you think you would have an advantage in the market. A strategy is how you're going to monetize it. For example, you might have a brilliant edge of recognizing, trends, changes in trends in areas of supply and demand better than anyone else. You can see it coming before anyone else. That's an edge. What you need to do is derive a strategy from that and test it. That's the difference between an edge and a strategy. The strategy is a way of you taking advantage of the edge that you have with a set of rules, which is a strategy of how to, and there's a lot that goes into a strategy. There's, risk management, there's entry where you're placing stock, there's many different things that go. Let me ask you, just to type in the room, who enjoyed this and learned something new and something valuable, a different way, maybe a fresh way of looking at trading that may give you a different perspective that, I'm not talking about here's the best strategy and this is the best way to do. It doesn't matter. You have to find something that fits you. But if someone can teach you a framework in which to read the market and a framework in which to operate and develop as a trader and to be there and help you and coach you all the way, that's powerful. So again, if you want to take the program and take advantage of it, it's available now. You can go to my website. It's TradeSmart, and down here, tradesmartforex.com. You can type it in the room. And I hope you all enjoyed that.